sending people to my videos so I can get better ideas of maybe other types of content that my audience might be interested in. The second thing I pay attention to is real-time analytics, because I want to see if an older video on my channel starts to pop and really starts to get momentum. I want to be able to quickly make a part 2 or a follow-up to that video so that the new people who are finding my channel on that older video have a next natural video that they want to watch to further increase watch time and the viewing session on my channel and really get them pulled into what my content's all about. The third thing I really pay attention to in my analytics is the graph that goes from impressions to click-through rate to watch time. And that what helps me understand is if there's a decent amount of impressions and click-throughs, but the watch time's really low, then I think, okay, maybe my title and thumbnail are not setting an accurate representation and not pitching this of what my content's about. So maybe I can make a more accurate title and thumbnail that sets more accurate expectations so that when they click and watch, they actually stay and watch the full video. If you want more amazing tips on how to grow your channel, subscribe right here to the YouTube Creators channel. Also, you can check out my channel at youtube.com/videocreators for more tips and advice and ideas as well. See you there.
あれもね、終盤になるにつれてね、
Do you know that a handful of creators on YouTube have reached 10 million subscribers? That's more people than the entire population of New York City for each of them. How does one grow such a huge fan base? I'm Matt Koval, a YouTube strategist and creator, and I'm here to talk about some of the techniques these top channels use to get so popular. So sit back and let's talk creative strategy on YouTube. I'm sure you've seen by now that some of the most creative people in the world show their talents on YouTube. And a lot of them have found success through a creative breakout idea. It's not easy to come up with a hit video series, but there are certain things YouTube's top creators do to get tons of fans. What I'm going to talk about today comes from over a year of studying successful creators and talking to them about what they do. The result of all this research, the 10 Fundamentals, is a framework that can help you in the development of your own video. Whether it's a new idea for your channel or an existing series you've been uploading, run the idea through these 10 to see how you might improve it. Did you notice I keep using the word series? Well, one-off videos are great, but what do you think happens after everyone's seen them? Your views tend to look like this. One huge spike and then back to normal. That's why to have long-term success with your channel, it's important to come up with ideas that are repeatable. And one way to do that is in the form of a show or series, which I use interchangeably. So let's jump in. Just keep in mind one thing. This is not meant to be a checklist or scorecard. None of these are absolutely necessary, but each can help grow that loyal fan base that comes back again and again. Alright, are you ready? Bring an idea to the forefront of your mind, and let's start at the beginning. Fundamental number 1, shareability. Will viewers share your videos? Word of mouth is powerful because people are learning about you from the people they trust the most, their friends and family.
I think the key thing is to actually make videos that people want to share with their friends, and it is as simple as that. That if you make a video that somebody watches and that's the end of it, well, that's going to get X number of views. But if they go, oh, hold on a second, so-and-so like this, and they start to send it around, you build up people. So I think just, videos that people want to share.
Now, it's easy to say, yes, they're going to share my videos because they'll be awesome. But to really predict if your viewers will share, ask yourself why. Will they relate to it? Is it about a topic or trend that people are currently talking about? Will it make viewers laugh or move them to tears? Is it really useful somehow? It's good to consider all of these questions. Also, try this. Take a look at the last thing you shared on social media. What was it and why did you share it?
I love to share videos that I think are frankly amazing, things that you haven't seen before, something new, something fresh, and something exciting, something that you're going to want to share after I do.
My old pals Rhett and Link are two very successful creators on YouTube, and when they're brainstorming ideas for a really shareable video, they put each idea through a pretty tough test. They ask themselves,
can we summarize what this video is all about one sentence that is easily understood and also compelling in a way that people want to share.
The point is, if you can't summarize it in one sentence, then it's going to take someone longer to explain it when they're trying to share it. You want to create a video that, from a concept standpoint, is easy to share.
So before they've even written a script, they try to get into the heads of viewers and figure out why they might share it. What will your audience write when they share? Take a few minutes to brainstorm and write those share statements down, because if you can make a video shareable, it can really help grow your audience. Fundamental number 2, conversation. Are you speaking directly to your audience? YouTube is an incredibly social platform. There's a huge community here, and viewers often see their favorite stars as friends inside the computer. If you can turn to the camera and talk directly to the audience, the way I am now, it can be a powerful way to bond with fans and build loyalty. See, we're bonding right now, you and I. But it's not about talking to the lens like any host or reporter. It's about talking specifically to your viewers, and maybe sometimes calling a few of them out by name. Even scripted narrative content can be conversational. Just look at some of the biggest scripted successes on YouTube. Lonely Girl 15, The Guild, and the Lizzie Bennett Diaries. Each of these involved fictional characters who talked directly to the audience. The fans knew they were actors reading lines, but they still loved it. Of course, you don't even have to do that to be conversational. The hit series Convos with My 2-Year-Old, ironically, isn't conversational at all. The actors don't talk to the camera, but what the creators do is occasionally upload a video like this.
Hello, Internet. We want to answer a bunch of your comments, questions. There's been thousands of them, hundreds even.
So even just making videos like that every once in a while is a great way to connect with your audience. However you want to do it, being conversational can help build that bond between you and fans. A question for you, what creators have you seen who are really good at being conversational? How might you do the same in your own videos? Fundamental number 3. Interactivity. Is there a way to involve the audience in your videos? One of the cool things about making stuff on YouTube is that you can get the audience to participate. You can do this in a lot of different ways, from answering fan questions to featuring their video submissions and yours. You can also ask them for ideas on what you should make next.
Look at the comments, look at the likes and dislikes. It's a good idea to listen to your audience and take into consideration what they want to see.
Being interactive shows them that you're willing to involve them creatively, and this also helps to build loyalty. You may have seen Epic Rap Battles of History, a hugely popular series where they take 2 historical figures and have them battle it out. It's colorful, it's funny, and it'll get your feet tapping to the beat. But one of the coolest parts about each episode is that they're interactive at the end of every episode.
Oh shit.
Who won? Who's next? You decide. With every episode, they ask their audience not only for their opinion of who won, but also who they should make a video about next. And when they make a new episode based on an idea from a viewer, they give that person a shout out.
Engaging people are like actually featuring their names in episodes, like at the end of Fact Surgery. It's empowering. It makes them feel like they helped make the decision. They helped make the video. They were influential, which is really important because they become part of the process, part of the channel.
So, what ways can you be interactive? Write down a few ways that your channel or series could involve the audience. It can be a lot of fun for your viewers and good for your channel. Fundamental number 4, consistency. Are there strong, recurring elements to your idea? Talk to any top YouTubers, and one of the first things they'll tell you is that consistency is critical to a channel's success. But consistency means different things depending on who you ask. Some say it's all about consistency of schedule. You gotta release your videos on specific days of the week. This works because, like traditional TV shows, you're tapping into the rhythm of people's lives.
Every Saturday, it's on my banner. New recipes every Saturday. This is a great way to engage my audience, knowing that I have content coming every Saturday.
It creates a sense of expectation and anticipation. For example, it's Thursday night, and I'm excited for tomorrow. You know why? Because I know that you upload your awesome videos every Friday. Other creators will tell you consistency is all about having the same personality or face of the channel. The videos may change, but the same person or people are in them every time. There are also consistent formats, which are basically clearly packaged shows.
Equals 3, Man vs. Pin, Good Mythical Morning.
These are all formats that are consistent from episode to episode. Each also have a consistent opening sequence, consistent segments within the show, consistent branding, and consistent taglines.
My name is Robbie Motz and I improve this message.
Lastly, there's consistency of voice. Now, I'm not talking about literal voice, but a tone or theme to the channel that never changes. Vice News is a good example of this. Their documentaries are always raw and real. I always know when I'm watching a video from Vice News. So, what are the ways your series idea will be consistent from video to video? Fundamental number 5, targeting. Is there a clearly defined audience? Usually when you first make a video, you want as many people as possible in the world to see it, right? But on YouTube, creators have seen that it's often more effective to target certain groups or communities. People who are passionate about who they are and what they do. This could be a large group such as moms or a small niche such as toy collectors. Here are a few ways you can target your audience. The first is from the channel level. Bro Science Life is a comedy channel, but it's all about comedy at the gym.
Now, if you're like me and prefer sitting down when you curl, then you're gonna love this. Extra chill sesh.
This entire channel targets people who work out a lot, an audience that really doesn't have its own comedy show. And the creator behind this is doing quite well reaching that niche audience. The second way to target is from the series level. I mentioned the Guild earlier. Can you guess what community that series was targeting? You might say computer gamers, or specifically those who play World of Warcraft. That's a very passionate community, and back when the Guild first came out, there really weren't many shows for them to watch. The last way to target is on the individual video level. Here's a good example of this. How to piss off New Yorkers in 36 seconds. Notice how even the title is targeted. So, channel level, series level, video level. However you want to target. Creators have found that the more you can say about your intended audience, the more traction you can get with an idea.
When dealing with, say, brands or other YouTubers who you want to collaborate with, it's good to be able to let them know who your audience are, and for you to know as well, so that you can cater to them.
Alright, a couple questions for you. What are communities you'd be interested in reaching with your videos? Is there an underserved audience out there that you could tap into? Fundamental number 6, sustainability. If the audience loves it, can you make more of it? Growing and maintaining a successful YouTube channel can take time. Some of our top creators have been uploading videos for 300 weeks without stopping. That may not be for you, or for me, and that's okay. But it's helpful if you brainstorm ideas that make sense on a practical level. Ask yourself, do you have the resources to sustain the idea over time? Do you have the budget, the actors, the crew, the location, and most importantly, the personal energy? Creator Jack Douglas has become really good at making sustainable yet still entertaining videos. One example is his series Your Grammar Sucks, where he reads horrible YouTube comments back to the camera.
This kid is going places. Not collage, but places. He's back. Your face is like Angelina Golly. This gives me think how short life is. Whoa. He drunks one beer and he is drunk. What a rubbish. Yo, what's up? Let's have lunch.
Jack shoots the show in front of a green screen, and since that's fairly easy to do, he's able to crank these videos out on a regular basis. And his sustainability is a large part of how he's picked up over 1.5 million subscribers. The Fine Brothers are another great example of sustainability. They started making YouTube videos back in 2006, and their channel is still one of the most popular today. They'll tell you they've survived this way. If we can't shoot at least 3 episodes in one day, we move on to the next idea. They're talking about block shooting here, the practice of recording several videos all at once that you can release over time. It's definitely something to think about. If you want to be sustainable, think about how you can make lighter, less time-consuming videos. Or find ways to get more mileage out of your productions, like shooting more episodes at once or getting behind-the-scenes footage. Now look, you can of course make stuff with higher production value, but it's a good idea to also have a second, easier-to-make series to keep your fans engaged. Alright, question time. What's the toughest part for you in creating a sustainable series, and what are ways you could make it easier on yourself? Fundamental number 7, discoverability. Will your videos get found through search or related videos? This fundamental is all about seeing what you can do to help your videos get surfaced in either search results or related videos. Related videos are the ones that pop up on the right side of the watch page and also at the very end of a video. There are typically two types of things people search for on YouTube. Trending topics or evergreen topics. Let's look at both. Trending topics would include stuff like elections, holidays, the Olympics, big news stories, sporting events.
The videos for us that tend to do a better job at getting new viewers in the channel is stuff related to big, pop culture events.
If you can piggyback on hot topics by addressing them in your videos, you can tap into the rush of people looking for those subjects. Evergreen topics, like evergreen trees, thrive all year round. They're often how-to videos like how to tie a tie. Other times, they're topics in pop culture that never really die, like Star Wars, Superman, or Justin Bieber. Being aware of current events or topics that are always popular can help your videos get found by new audiences. And this can lead to extra views and You want to know a cool trick? Type in a single letter or word into YouTube's search box, and you can see what the top searches are. So right now it looks like if you type in D here, dubstep is first, then Drake. You can also type in how-to and see which are the most searched tutorials. One other tip, if you want your videos to be discoverable, be sure to become an optimization expert. Know how to write effective titles, tags, and video descriptions. For more on that, check out the Creator Academy lessons on how to get discovered and optimize your videos. Fundamental number 8, accessibility. Can every episode be fully appreciated by a brand new viewer? Have you ever watched a TV show and you had no idea what was going on because you hadn't seen the first 3 seasons? Yeah, me too. I won't name shows. This fundamental is all about making sure your videos always welcome new viewers. It's important because people might find any random episode of yours through a social feed, a search result, or a related video. And they may not know anything about you or your channel. So it's helpful to make sure you don't leave those people in the dark, or they might be gone in a second. Try to make each video fully understable to the viewer.
For creators who are making a narrative series with a story that may take place over many videos, there's a couple things they can do. They can consider including a montage that helps the viewer get up to speed on what's happening in the series or that episode. They can also make it easy for viewers to get to episode 1 by using annotations or links in the description that link back to that video.
So, accessibility. Will each episode be understood and appreciated by new viewers? Yes or no? Fundamental number 9, collaboration. Is there a better idea to feature other YouTube creators? One of the fastest ways to grow subscribers on YouTube is to collaborate with other creators who have their own fans. We're talking about having them on as a guest in more videos or vice versa. Collabs work because when the other person promotes the video, you get seen by a whole other loyal audience that already understands YouTube, how to subscribe, like, and comment on videos. If this other audience likes you, they might subscribe to you too. I've seen channels jump by thousands and even tens of thousands of subscribers just off one collab video.
You don't have to live in the same state. You don't even have to live in the same country. If people are like overseas, you can even just ask for footage, and it's just like you're connecting with your community. It's really fun.
Collabs are also a good way to make friends and start a really active community.
Reaching out to other YouTubers, whether it's a lunch or a Skype chat, it's really helpful to talk to someone else that does this and to create those friendships because only other YouTubers really understand what you're going through.
Just a couple pieces of advice on making a successful collaboration. First, find a partner that has a similar audience to your own. If you make baking tutorials, it may not make sense to collab with a video game. Or, hey, maybe it does. But think about the audience carefully because the whole point is to get that crossover of fans who will love your stuff too.
Often if you're working with someone else who's known for a particular type of content, that's what that audience wants. So if you're not delivering that same type of content, you may see no benefit from the collaboration.
Secondly, remember to make your collaborator proud of their role in your video. That's what will get them to promote. So feature them prominently and in a positive light. If you're proud of the finished product, they are much more likely to spread the word. Collaboration, a great way to introduce yourself to a bunch of new viewers all at once. Fundamental number 10, inspiration. Is this idea coming from a place of genuine interest? This is a big one. In fact, a lot of the top creators we talked to said it might be the most important factor in keeping yourself going and keeping yourself happy. Just look at some of YouTube's most successful creators. They're often overflowing with enthusiasm around what they do.
It's currently 6 o'clock in the morning and I haven't gone to bed. I've been up all night reading letters from you guys.
It's powerful because true passion shows through on camera. And if you love the topic, your videos will probably be a lot easier and a lot more fun to make. How do you find ideas that you're passionate about? Look at your favorite hobbies, sports, TV shows, and blogs. Consider brainstorming ideas that are well within what you love and what you love to talk about.
If you're going to come up with something that you think people want, but you're not going to want to do it after a couple of weeks, then that's not a good idea for you. I mean, it has to be a good idea for you first, and then a good idea for an audience second.
So, inspiration. Is your idea coming from a place of genuine interest? There you have it, folks. The 10 fundamentals of a creative strategy on YouTube pulled directly from our top creators. You can come back to this anytime and use it as a filter for your own ideas, run something new through the 10, or revisit a series you've been making. Just remember, none of these fundamentals are necessary, but each can help. I'm Matt Koval. You can find me at youtube.com/Matt Koval. Thanks for your time.
Are you frustrated because you're making videos but you're not getting the views or subscribers that you want? In this video, we're going to be talking about the 10 common mistakes that new YouTubers make and how to fix them so you can get more views. Coming up. Hey, what's up? Benji here, Sean here. Welcome to Video Influencers, where we're helping you build your influence, income, and impact with online videos. And on this channel, we do interviews with YouTubers as well as tips and strategy videos just like this one. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So today's video comes from Jackie from the VI community, and Jackie asked, what are the top 10 YouTube mistakes beginners make? Mistake number 1 is looking into the viewfinder instead of the lens. So especially if you have a camera with a front-facing screen, it can be tempting to just stare at yourself, whether you're shooting in your bedroom or even you're out vlogging, but you don't want to do that. What you want to do is look directly into the lens, because that way you'll be actually making really eye contact with viewers. Yeah, and a real example of this is like, imagine you're talking to your friend, but they're looking at your forehead. How awkward that would be. And that translates to video as well. So that's why we always tell people, especially beginners, to look at the lens. Mistake number 2 is spamming other people's YouTube comments. Now, I know you've probably seen this before, and this is where people may say sub for sub, and they may really heavily promote their YouTube channel or somebody else's channel. And the difference between spamming and what we suggest, which is engagement, is you have conversation with people, right? You vibe with people. You watch other people's videos, and you leave comments, right? And you let them discover your stuff. So rather than asking for the sub or visiting their channel, you add value by engaging with their content. Mistake number 3 is bad or confusing YouTube titles. And what we see a lot of people doing is like what other YouTubers are doing, especially really famous ones. And one of the number 1 things we see as a mistake beginners YouTubers make is the fact that they're using like their channel name as the first thing in the title, right? Or they're saying today's vlog or vlog 182. Especially if you're a beginner, you need to be having searchable content be part of that first part of the title. Yeah, it's kind of like you don't want to use insider language because there isn't a bunch of insiders yet. You don't want to have the title only make sense to you and maybe a few friends or subscribers. It should be very focused on potential audience members that can discover your content. Mistake number 4, being inconsistent. It is so important to always show up at least once a week to your community. You know, there's a lot of people that get all pumped up, raw, and they do 10 videos in a month, and then they don't show up for another 6 months. It's actually better to post up 1 video for 10 weeks of doing that all 10 in 1 week and never showing up again. Absolutely. Consistency is king on YouTube. And one pro tip here is taking advantage of YouTube Live in case you don't have a weekly video to upload. Sometimes Benji and I will make sure that we get a Google Hangout in together, a YouTube live stream on a Saturday, just to make sure that we always upload at least once a week. 2 quick lessons on why it's important to be consistent. Number 1, there's no point for your community to subscribe to you unless you're putting up future videos. Second is YouTube rewards you when they know that you're putting up content regularly. Mistake number 5 is having a weak intro. And so one of the most important parts of every YouTube video is the first 5 to 10 seconds. And so a lot of people that are starting out on YouTube make a couple mistakes here. Number 1, they make intros that are too long. Don't take 30 seconds or even 20 or a minute to get to the point. You want to summarize what the entire video is about and really pitch it to the audience to create interest in the first few moments of your video. And one power tip is to start your video with a question. That's why we might say something like, are you curious about how to get more views on your video? That way, if you're watching this video and you're interested in that, then you might want to stick around and watch the entire video. Think about how you could lead your videos with a thought-provoking question that hooks viewers into wanting to watch more. Mistake number 6, a distracting background. Now, this is something we see a lot of beginners doing that is just not good because it's so simple to fix. Just clean up your background. You want you to be the focus, right? And it's something that's free. You can just do it right before you're recording, and you just have to take a little thought. And if you can't clean up that space, just go to another space that's more appealing. Mistake number 7 is bad audio, video, and lighting. Now, one of the big mistakes that you might be thinking though is, oh, I need a new camera then, I need to buy a bunch of expensive equipment, and that's not what we mean here. We just mean that you should be thoughtful about shooting in a quiet place so that the audio is good, even if all you're shooting on is your smartphone. You can be thoughtful about shooting during daylight in front of a window so that the lighting is good, and not shooting in a dark room because video cameras need light to perform well. And then thinking about your video quality. The cool thing is that most smartphones today shoot HD video, and that there's a lot of affordable cameras out there as well so that you can have high video quality without breaking the bank. So always think about how you can improve your AVL. And one power tip here is think about your shot composition. A huge mistake we see beginners making is trying to center their faces in the frame, kind of like it looks like on screen right here. And so the way to fix that is bring the camera down a little bit so that your head is near the top of the frame and that your body is filling the entire frame. Just a small tweak to improve your shot composition. Did you see that there? Low energy. It's the killer of attention, right? Nobody wants to see something boring. They want to see something exciting, right? And even if they're just searching for something to get a quick answer, an exciting answer is much better. So that is our quick tip to be exciting. 10x your energy. And that's in fact what we do before we do our interviews. Yeah, and just like they say, the camera adds 10 pounds. The camera reduces your energy by 50%. So when you first start doing this, it sometimes feels like you're exaggerating too much. But what you're actually doing is you're just delivering the amount of energy needed to connect on the other side of the camera. So boosting your energy. Mistake number 9, monetizing too early. We see this with a lot of beginner YouTubers where they're turning on their ads right at the beginning for so little. You know, to make significant money on YouTube from ads, you have to have a lot of views. So in the beginning, you don't want to distract potential views or potential subscribers with an ad. Absolutely. That's why I'm video influencer. Building your influence, income, and impact with online video. It starts with influence first. And that's what we recommend. If you're just starting on YouTube, build your influence first. Don't worry too much about income yet. That can come later once you build your influence. Mistake number 10, impatience. You know, the majority of YouTubers that are successful had to wait a long time, had to work very hard for a very long time to build their audience, to be successful on YouTube. Yes, YouTube is really more of a marathon than it is a sprint. So we encourage you, don't get discouraged. Keep learning, keep growing, keep getting better at all of the details about YouTube, keep leveling up your content, and keep hustling to build your influence on YouTube. Question of the day, what are some of the mistakes that you see beginning creators making on their channels? Let us know in the comments section below, and remember that some of the best tips and feedback come from you, the video influencers community. So definitely connect with everybody in the comments section. Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this. And if you want to go deeper on some tips for getting more views, subscribers, and more income for your YouTube channel, we have a free masterclass that's coming up soon. Details are in the description below, as well as on the YouTube card. That is a deep dive training on YouTube. As always, here on Video Influencers, we're helping you get your influence become impact with online videos. Keep crushing it, and we will talk soon.
Nice.
From the top. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 7 steps for getting your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and beyond, plus doing some Q&A and helping you put together your YouTube content strategy and growth plan for this year. But hey, we're just meeting. My name is Sean, and I'm the co-founder of Video Influencers. Benji, Travis, and I started this channel, and we recently wrote a book called YouTube Secrets that's all about helping you grow your influence, income, and impact with online video. And the book is, we've been blessed, has been #1 in business and social media on Amazon. And in this training, we're going to be diving deeper into some concepts as well as helping you put together a massive growth plan for this year. So let's dive into it straight away. The topic today is 7 steps for getting your first 1,000 YouTube subscribers. We're going to be talking about the 7 C's of YouTube success. That's courage, clarity, channel, content, community, cash, and consistency. And we're going to be going through those throughout this training. And I'm also going to be giving away 2 copies of YouTube Secrets. And all you have to do to be entered to win one of the 2 copies is just like this video, make sure you're subscribed to Video Influencers, and leave a comment of what one of your YouTube goals is for 2019. Maybe that's an amount of videos you want to post, an amount of collaborations you want to do, anything at all. Just leave a comment, and then my team will be picking out 2 of the best comments to be giving those books away. And you can enter real simple for that. Our agenda today is to cover our 7-step system for growing to 1,000 subscribers and beyond. So tell me in the live chat how many subscribers you currently have. Even if you're beyond that, these strategies are super relevant. This is what I've been focusing on because I've been preparing my personal YouTube growth plan for this year. But if you're also just starting, this will really, really help you. I already see MindMob saying, I want to get to 1,000 subscribers in 2019. That's a great goal. I see Oven Media is at 92. Dylan's across 1,000 with 1,003 subscribers. So we have all kinds of different sizes of channels. I believe this training is going to be massively helpful for you. We're also going to talk about how to 10x your video uploads, upload more videos with less work and less stress, as well as how to get 75% off our YouTube Secrets Quick Start online course that'll be towards the end of the training. But if we are just meeting, Benji and I started this channel 4 years ago with the passion for helping you build your influence, income, and impact with online video. And we've had over 2 decades of experience in this industry, over 5,000 video uploads between us on our various channels, over 2 million subscribers, 2 7-figure brands we've built independently. We've interviewed over 100 video influencers, and we've helped thousands of entrepreneurs and business-minded content creators learn how to leverage YouTube to grow their influence. And I say that just so we can kind of get to know each other, but you can also see that I'm not new to this space. Like, we're bringing some proven principles that you can trust for growth, that are not just based on our own experience uploading over 5,000 videos, but that are also based on the experience of the interviews that we have done. And over this period of time in the past 4 years, we set out asking the question, what are the proven principles of YouTube success? Not just some of the things that work sometimes, but what are the building blocks that never change for growing on YouTube? And that is how we formulated the 7 C's of YouTube success. And we're going to go through those. And maybe you've already heard those. In fact, let me know if you've already read YouTube Secrets. So you're probably familiar with these, but I believe you're going to get some nuances that will really help you grow and get more views this year. And let's start it off with C number 1, and that is courage. Courage. The reality is that maybe you're watching this video and you haven't started YouTube, or you kind of have a channel, but it's still kind of scary to get on camera. You gotta start by actually punching fear in the face, punching perfectionism in the face, and pressing record. And I love this quote from Zig Ziglar that says, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great, right? And so even as we kind of approach the new year, I want you to have a new, kind of a fresh mentality of beginning again, whether this last year was frustrating or whether it was awesome. You know, we're starting a new year. It's a new chance to get our strategy together, to get our mind right, our grind on, our hustle on, our focus tight on exactly what it is we want to do. But you got to start. Like, you actually have to press record. And, you know, for me, I remember a lot of the questions we get is, you know, how do you actually build your confidence to be on camera? And it takes me back to like 2010. I remember this is a screenshot of this video that when I first kind of put a video out, this video was so bad, right? I just was on a cheap webcam, I had a little USB mic. It's over on my personal channel. But I'm so glad that I started, and I even started before that, because if I never posted some bad videos, I would have never gotten to the videos I'm putting out today. And so you gotta just punch fear in the face, right? But here's some practical tips for how to build confidence on camera if you're newer to YouTube. Number 1 is practice, 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 right? Like, it's not that practice makes perfection, but practice makes progress. And your first videos are going to be your worst videos. And even as you keep going, to be honest, maybe you already have like 50, 100, 150 videos. You still have a ways to go. Don't you know that, right? I know I still have a ways to go. I'm always trying to become better as a communicator, better in teaching, better with my energy, more confident. And I'm always trying to practice. And one of the biggest mistakes I see people make, though, is they post 1 or 2 videos and they get discouraged. And then they think, oh man, I just don't have what it takes. No, you got to put out way more content than you could really ever imagine to build up that courage and that confidence. It's like kind of like lifting muscles. Clearly, I have not been lifting muscles. Clearly, I have not been lifting any weights, and that's why I don't have the guns. I don't have the biceps. I got these scrawny arms. So what do you have to do? You got to put in the repetitions. And so while I haven't been at the gym, I have been putting in the repetitions of a lot of not that great videos, a lot of ugly videos, a lot of not, you know, super well put together videos. But because I practiced, I built more confidence and momentum over time. I just want you, maybe if you're newer in your journey, to maybe even let the first half of this next year be a practice year. Don't worry about the results, just worry about getting videos uploaded and leveling up your craft as you go. But also have a plan. Before you get on camera, don't just wing it. Prior planning prevents poor performance. Get your ideas together. You know, outline your content a little bit and you'll have more confidence because you will know what you're talking about. Also, dress for success. Now, this is maybe like, it doesn't really matter, you know, what you dress in and what your style is. That's not what I mean. But I do mean get dressed in a way that builds your confidence, that puts you in the peak state of mind. You know, maybe it's just for you, it's like t-shirts and like gaming or whatever it is. The style doesn't matter. Think about your set. Think about, you know, how you're presenting yourself. Put yourself in the optimal state. I know for me, I usually don't want to get on camera right when I roll out of bed, right? I want to get ready and put myself together, put my plan together, my script or my notes together, even clean up the background a little bit. I mean, my desk had a whole pile of stuff before I started this stream right here. So I cleaned it up so that I could get into the right mindset to be confident on camera. And then remember, it's not about you, it's about what you have to say. A lot of times the reason we're worried is we're worried about stumbling, which we'll do. We're worried about saying which I do all the time. We're worried about this other stuff. No, it's about your community. I need to show up here because so you can get value, so you can crush it on YouTube in 2019. If I'm thinking about myself, then I'm not thinking about serving the people on the other side of the camera. I want you to be obsessed about the content you're delivering and not just about, you know, how you look, because honestly, you'll probably be more critical on yourself about how you look and sound than even other people will, because they just want the content value, right? They're looking for the information and the value you're providing. And then number 5, it's okay if you mess up. I can't even wait, because Benji and I have this video coming up that is a behind the scenes of a batch production day. And right in the middle, we talk about how there's all these mess ups. I mean, restarts, stumbles. When we're shooting kind of our traditional type of YouTube videos, it's okay if you mess up. Just keep posting, keep shooting, keep uploading videos, and stop overthinking. You know, one of the biggest things that's going to hold you back, right, in 2019 is just pondering and not posting. Stop overthinking what people are going to think, if the video is perfect, if everything's right in the video. It's not going to be, right? But just pump out content, because that's honestly, you have to get out of this contemplative state at some point and actually start crushing it by turning on your camera and recording some videos. So stir up that courage, which brings us to our second C, and that is clarity. Clarity. I think this is one of the biggest leverage points of growing in 2019. And my question for you is, what is your end goal? What is the end goal for you on YouTube? Like, what is it you want to achieve on a macro level? You know, one of the reasons we actually started Video Influencers is we actually knew we wanted to put out a book. And so now many of you you've read this, or you've you know, had the ebook, or you could win a copy today, right? We're giving a couple copies away. We kind of knew that was one of our end goals. We also knew that there was other things we want to do even future in our careers. For me, I'm super passionate about business and personal development. And so even in my 30s, I just turned 35, I was thinking about, you know, I'm focusing on video and building my influence in that space. And it's something that I've been doing since 2003. And your gift will make a way for you, right? Like, it's just something that has kind of been my wheelhouse. But I even have a plan beyond, like, where this is all going. Where's this all going for you? What do you want your YouTube channel to achieve? Do you want it to build a community? Do you want it to quit your 9-to-5 job? Do you want it as a creative outlet? What's your end goal for your channel? Real Love Listen says, I want to use YouTube as a platform to build my brand. I think that's super smart. And some people are on YouTube to connect with other people, to build community and things like that. Aries says, my end goal is to self-love, self-grow, and inspire people along the way. I love hearing, and keep sharing in the chat, or if you're on the replay, in the comments, what your end goal with YouTube is. But when starting out, you really want to know these questions. And if you have a journal, pull out some notes, really drill down on these. Maybe you already know these, but really drill down on these, because the clearer you are on these for 2019, the faster you will grow to 1,000 subscribers and beyond. So who is your target audience? Most people start creating content before knowing who the content's even for. Who is your content for? Who is your target audience? Who is the end user group of people you want to reach? And remember, if you try and reach everybody, you'll end up reaching nobody. There's no way that everyone on planet Earth, 7 billion people, are going to love your content. However, there is a small group that could love your content. And here's a tip. The smaller, the better. If you actually want to get big, start small. Start with the smallest kind of possible. It needs to be a viable market, but you want to start with the smallest group of people, serve them well, add value in that space, and it can expand later. And then what is your value proposition to that target audience? Like, what's your promise? One way to think of your YouTube channel is the word promise. So you could write that down, like, what I'm making a promise. Like, we promise you that when you subscribe to Video Influencers and you watch these videos and these trainings, that we're going to help you grow your influence, your income, and your impact with video. We're not going to help you organize your closet. We're not going to help you get that smoky eye under shadow. We're not going to help you, learn about different nonprofits. Or, we have this clear promise to you, and that's why you're here. What's your promise to your audience? Tell us in the comments. And I want to talk about putting together a simple napkin plan. So let's get it on paper right now. And maybe you have a phone or whatever else, but there's something powerful about planning on paper. There's actually science that backs up what it does to our psychology. When we make our goals written out. It makes them more concrete, more tangible. So maybe write down some of your goals and write down your simple napkin plan. And Benji, for Video Influencers, is a great example of this because one of the channels he runs is his cooking channel called Benjiman TV. And his target audience is people who love food and want simple and easy to make recipes that taste great. And his value proposition is one upload a week that is going to give you a recipe, whether that's easy pasta recipe, creamy mushroom, you know, how to make the perfect omelet. I'm getting hungry as I talk about Benji's videos. But that's his promise, right? And so he's got a target audience, people who like food. No one's going to his channel to learn how to grow their YouTube channel, right? No one's going to his channel to learn how to build their business. It's very clear. Remember, it's powerful to have a niche, a specific topic, and Benji's doing a great job of that. So his napkin strategy is this one video a week that is intended for people who want those simple cooking recipes. And that's it, basically. So let's make yours really quick. Create a simple napkin plan. Who are your videos for? You want to answer that question. You write that down. Who are your videos for? Is it for people that want some inspiration as they commute to work? Is it for stay-at-home moms that want less stress, that are homeschooling their kids? Is it for people who want the best strategy videos for getting more money in Red Dead Redemption 2? Come on, I'm 40% completion. I'm waiting for Christmas break when I can really finish this game. What is it that, who is it that your videos are for? Number two, when will you post your videos? That's your napkin strategy. When will you post your videos? And another question there is, how many will you post? Benji, once per week. And his promise is to upload every week. People ask, you know, should I have a specific day? I think so. But you want to know something? I don't think Benji does. Video influencers, we've never been able to commit to one. Think Media doesn't have a specific day yet. And we've gotten this far. But what our commitment is new videos every single week, at least one. So when are you going to post your videos? And then number three is, what value do your videos promise? And write this down. Don't just pie in the sky it out there. Make it concrete on paper. What value? It's going to inspire you. It's going to make you laugh, whatever it is. Which brings us to, so write down your napkin plan for 2019. So that way you can have more clarity and more planning this next year. And here's actually a pro tip as we keep going. Pro tip, set a sustainable pace. So as we approach this new year, I think we always get super pumped around the new. I know I do. I start like getting so ambitious. Like, imagine what we could do. Maybe we'll post 1,000 videos this next year, and let's launch 4 podcasts, and let's write another book, and let's also, you know, and we can dream really big. But sometimes it's really important to make a sustainable plan that maybe isn't as sexy, but is actually sustainable, right? And so a pro tip is set a sustainable pace. And so here's a picture of my main channel. It's called Think Media, right? And so on that channel, this kind of speaks to the power of a sustainable pace, while not just focusing on a short-term sprint, but rather on a week-by-week, year-by-year. What if we just took a second and instead of even just planning the next year, you had a vision for the next 5 years? And I've learned that actually a lot of people underestimate, or a lot of people actually overestimate what they can accomplish in 1 year, but they underestimate what they can accomplish in 5. So sometimes we think, oh man, you know, beginning January to December, that's like the whole, no. What if it's like the next 5 years? You make smart decisions, and you have a sustainable pace over the next 5 years, you can make a lot of traction. And so Think Media has over 42 million views, right? It's a lot of views on my YouTube channel. And it actually started, though, back in 2010. And you can see that on this graph, that's where it was. And, you know, at the time, I couldn't even upload a video a week. I had a full-time job. I had, of course, responsibilities. And I had freelance clients. So I maybe that first year was able to upload like 10 videos. Second year, I was maybe able to upload like 22 videos in the whole year. You can see that even by 2015, there's a few jumps on here. And by the way, this is even thousands of views right here. I mean, thousands and thousands, and even hundreds and hundreds of dollars of income. But it's a blip. You know, you can barely register it on this graph compared to end of 2015. So about 3 years ago, things began to pick up. And then today, we're getting about 1.5 million views a month just on Think Media. Well, what's the point? This is a long journey. This is an 8-year picture, and I'm not trying to say that your growth on YouTube is going to have to take that long. When you have a channel like this and tips and strategies like this, it can grow much faster. But what I'm trying to say is that they get a vision for the long haul, and slow and steady wins. And so let's break it down like this. Imagine, I see some people do this. They try to do 365 days of daily videos. You know, vloggers, they feel like they're on this hustle. It's like this endless treadmill. It's super tiring. It's super exhausting. And what I would much rather is watch this. Rather than you do 365 days of daily videos, I'd rather you do 364 weeks of one upload per week. That would actually be one video a week for 7 years. How crazy is that, right? And instead of actually rushing to get a video out daily, imagine if you had a little more time to craft and actually put out great videos that build your brand over time. And you do that consistently for 7 years, you've built an empire. You've built a massive portfolio. You've built a personal brand that proves you can be consistent. You can show up over time, that you've got some real credibility in the industry because you've been building slow and steady wins. 365 days versus 364 weeks at one video per week. And I say this too because I really believe this. We get the question, what's more important, quantity or quality? In 2019, I believe this with all my heart, quality is more important. Quality is more important. Quantity is important, and if you can keep quality high and increase quantity, then do it. But some people, I see this probably the most. And by the way, Benji and I, we look at your channels. We go to the comments. We connect with you on Twitter. So I see people, you're uploading so many videos. You got 5 uploads a week. You got 8 videos a week. Like, you're on this rah, like, look at how many videos. I would actually compress all that energy into making higher quality pieces of content that get sucked into the algorithm, that rank in search, and that break through the noise. Just a thought, you know, to kind of put your game plan together for next year. Bruce Lee said this, long-term consistency trumps short-term intensity. And I want to believe that this is a quote for you this next year. To pace yourself so that in the midst of life, you can be pumping out quality content because you've got a smart pace for crushing consistency. And I promised how to, like, kind of a strategy for how to 10x your video uploads with less stress. And it was based on this question that I got on Instagram stories. And one of the people from our influencers community here asked, hey, I'm a mom, I'm trying to grow my channel, can you help me out? And so I looked at her channel and I said, she was asking kind of about video ideas. And I said, you know, you should make a video called, I said, could you make a video? She's trying to come up with video ideas. Could you make a video that is called like the 10 things I wish I knew before becoming a mother? And the reason I said that was because she has 4 kids. Her channel is about like tips for motherhood and for new moms. And I was like, could you make that? And how long would that take you? And she was like, instantly I could think of it. You know, any moms in the audience, or insert your niche. By the way, here is a template for you. Insert your niche. 10 things I wish I knew before starting a YouTube channel. 10 things I wish I knew before starting Red Dead Redemption 2. 10 things I wish I knew, whatever your niche is. And she's like, instantly, like, I'm already journaling them. Like, they're just coming right out. It barely takes any preparation. I've learned these lessons from my life. I know the stories about it. So that was question 1. She goes, yeah, I could do that. But then I said question number 2, I don't want you to make that one video though. I want you to actually make that a 10-week series of videos that is really, really powerful, right? A 10-week series on what I wish I knew before becoming a mother. So then what you do is you take those 10 weeks that you brainstorm all at once. And here's what I'm not saying. Someone asked, I shared this concept, and they said, are you just talking about putting out like more fluff, crappy content? I was like, no, I've never suggested putting out crappy fluff content. I'm saying that you could then make each one maybe a little bit longer. Maybe they're 3 to 5 minutes each. Maybe there's a lesson, there's the actual thing you learned, and then there's like a little story, and then you're like, and then you put them all on a playlist, which is, by the way, a really important growth strategy for creating smart series and putting them all together in playlists. So now you've got a 10-week series that you can brainstorm all at once. But these types of series examples, this is just one idea for stretching your content
And I'm not saying that it'll take, you still have to put more work in because it's going to be 10 separate uploads, but it's stacking your energy and it's being more efficient with your energy so that you can have a sustainable pace to stay consistent, which brings us to channel. You got to set up your channel for success in 2019 because your channel is the home for your content, right? It's where your content lives. And you really never get a second chance to make a first impression, I believe. If you put out a great video and you get the split second to meet someone online, at some point we met, and at some point you probably decided, like, okay, I listened for a while to Benji and Sean, I heard some tips, this is valuable, you made a decision to subscribe. You know, if we met you, you probably wouldn't still be here, and we definitely put out some videos that probably, they haven't all been good for sure, right? Like, we've made a ton of mistakes, or not all of our content has been the greatest, but we're always just doing our best and practicing. But the point is, when you get that chance to meet somebody, what impression are you giving? What's the branding that they're experiencing? What are the emotions, the colors, the visuals that they're seeing? And so as you go into the next year, put some time on your calendar to update your avatar. That's your YouTube logo. To update your cover image. To make sure your social media accounts are connected and only connect the relevant social media accounts. What do you want to give a call to action to? Mainly it's our website typically, but right now we have YouTube Secrets out, so you have our book link right there. And organize your homepage based on the playlist. That's how you actually set up your playlist, by the way. As I see this, currently the screenshot I just took is video marketing and YouTube marketing tips for 2018. So we even want to update, you know, that's the year, what is the homepage series that we're showing. And so block some time to really update your channel and get it ready, just like you would get your home ready if you had guests coming over. You know what I mean? You get your home ready to have that party. You decorate, you clean up the house, clean up your YouTube channel, redecorate a little bit according to the brand that you want to build. And I love this video that Benji and Sean McKnight just did on video influencers. And one of his tips was think of yourself as a brand. Think of yourself as a brand. You're not just a YouTuber. You're not just a solo creator. You're a brand. So what does your brand stand for? What are your values? What does your brand look like? You know, good brands look distinct from other brands. What is your style? Our friend Andrew Edwards on Gear Live mentioned how he was in WWE and professional wrestling and all this other stuff. And those elements he brought into his brand. What is kind of the look, the feel, the emotions of your brand? Brainstorm that, write that down. And I love this quote from Jay-Z, you know, who was just listed in the Forbes top wealthiest celebrities of this year, worth $900 million. Of course, best-selling recording artist and rockaware and fashion, all this other stuff. Look at this quote. He says this, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a business man," right? He's like, I am a business. In 2019, if you really want to crush it, I think for some of you in the video influencers community, there needs to be a mindset shift from just thinking of yourself too low. Like, I'm just this creator, I'm just a YouTuber trying to make it, I'm just this struggling, you know, video creator. No. You're a brand. You're a business. You're about your business. You're serious, right? You're putting a plan together right now. You're putting growth strategy. You're caring about the little details, about how your videos look, how they sound, the value they present. You're not just out here just playing games, which, by the way, that's fine if you are. But I think you're on video influencers because you want to build your influence. You're not going to build your influence by just treating this half-heartedly. No, you're a business. You're a brand. You're not a businessman or a businesswoman. You're a business, right? So consider yourself a business and a brand and really turn pro in your thinking and your approach to your channel and to your overall messaging. And this question is, what message does your channel branding currently communicate? So you might actually brainstorm the values of your brand. Hey, I want to be professional. I want to be taken seriously. I want to be seen as a leader. I want to be seen as fun, as sassy. I want to be seen as cute and smart, or whatever it is. Get those words, but then you got to be like self-aware and you got to evaluate your channel, and you might be like, that doesn't really look you know, classy or professional or modern or traditional. And then what you want to do is marry those two, you know, combine what you actually are hoping to achieve with the look, the feel, the photography, the visual elements, the video quality. And this could seem daunting. You might be like, Sean, I mean, my gosh, like there's a lot I have to learn. Always focus on just getting 1% better. You know, there's so many things that we aspire to for video influencers, but we're just going one step at a time. I started this back in 2010. I didn't have any of this information. You know, like, I didn't have a brand, I didn't have clarity. So it doesn't happen overnight. But when you set a North Star from a training like this, you can make a lot more progress than your peers because you're making a smart system and you have a clear vision of what you want your brand to communicate. Which brings us to our next tip, and that is content. Content is king. And, you know, I like to think of this in terms of maybe what's your favorite TV show? This is a screenshot here of some of the best TV shows that Google has decided, right? Mad Men and Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Stranger Things, whatever. Tell me in the live chat, what is one of your favorite TV shows? Justified is one of mine for Sonia and my wife and I. The Office, come on, that's a classic. I've crushed that whole season more than once, right? What's one of your favorite TV shows? Here's the point when it comes to content, is that your content has to be valuable. It has to, people have to want to watch it. Because when it comes to these great shows, you know, all these Breaking Bad, a classic, right? You know, whatever. The Flash, another good one, right? Arrow, like, let me know what some of your favorites are. And so Running Gun says The Office, The Mick, I heard from Symphonies, thanks so much. Martian from Key says that. Scrubs, Lucky Braxton. If you're like me, my wife and I sometimes look for new shows, and we fall into what's known as a show hole. Like, we got nothing to watch. You go to Netflix or Hulu, there's like thousands of shows, but you start something, and even though they invested $4 million to produce the show, and even though 300 people were there on set producing the content, you play it and you watch it for a second, and you're like, I'm out. Did that ever happen to you? Of course it has. You gave a show a try, you watched it, and what's interesting though is, think about it, the production value, the cameras, the lighting, the production value could be amazing. We actually usually don't abandon shows because the production value is low. Oh, the lighting wasn't good enough. Why do we abandon shows? Because the content wasn't valuable to us. The documentary was boring. It wasn't informative. The comedy show wasn't funny. You know, the information show was just kind of average or didn't keep our attention together. So as you think about your content, you really want to think about crafting it to make sure that it's valuable, because content is king, and that's the key thing you want to define. What is the value of your content? There's a few different areas, and it has to have at least one of these. Your content might be inspirational. Is it going to be inspirational content? My friend Evan Carmichael has a motivational channel with a lot of different entrepreneurs. I always get inspired when I watch those videos from the people he features on his channel. It might be informational. That's kind of like Phil DeFranco. That's my news source, right? Every most nights of the week, my wife and I sit down and we get filled in by the latest stuff that's happening in the world and in YouTube. So information is transferred. By the way, I don't watch Phil DeFranco because I want to laugh and just zone out like I would watch The Office. I don't actually watch Phil DeFranco for inspiration. I watch it for information. The clearer you are on the value you want to produce and the more intentional you are about inserting that value into your videos will be the difference between winning or losing in 2019 on YouTube and breaking past your first 1,000 subscribers. Is your content educational? This is an educational video. I would argue you wouldn't be here if you weren't learning something, right? And you're not here to learn how to get the muscles. We've already clarified that. You're not here to laugh, you know, because my jokes are not that cool, you know, whatever. But why are you here? Because you want to grow your YouTube channel. It's a defined promise, but then we have to actually show up and deliver on that promise, right? Maybe motivation, right? Could also be entertaining. As vloggers, you might not be educating. You're trying to entertain. You're trying to motivate. Just even understanding this, thinking about this, and reverse engineering it can help
help you create a better plan for next year. And another one's connection. Sometimes it's just the fact that because of this opportunity of YouTube, we can have a connection, right? We can get to know each other. LA Aries says this is a helpful video. Well, thank you for those kind words, but it's also cool that we're live here and we're actually able to make a connection. Our goal with video influencers, we did the video influencers tour, and we had in multiple different cities anywhere from 150 to 250 people come out in person, not just to learn, but so we could connect as a community. We want to do in 2019 more channel reviews, more Q&As, so we can have greater connection. We want to introduce you to some of the best and brightest people in our community, because this isn't just a one-way conversation, it's a two-way conversation, and we care about creating a connection with you. And so for you though, think about in 2019, what areas are you trying to achieve on your YouTube channel? You gotta have, I think, one of these, or guess what? People will tune out and they won't watch your videos, which brings us to the next C, and that is community. Community. The internet, Bill Gates said, is becoming the town square for the global village of tomorrow. Now, I love this quote because it's talking about the internet. YouTube is the town square. What's the town square? Well, up here, up the street, 3 minutes from my house is our local grocery store, our local coffee shop. And when my wife and I go up there, right, you can walk in and order your coffee. People recognize you, you know, like they see you over the counter, and you run into other people that you know from the community. You see your neighbors, you know, that's your community. Well, if you're a jerk, right, or if you're not kind, if you don't make connections, what's your reputation in the community? It's bad. Right? Like, if, you know, maybe you know that person. You're like, yeah, that person. Maybe you I worked in food service. I worked in Red Robin for 10 years. Bottomless fries, Royale burger with the egg on it. That's a U.S. burger place. I worked there for 10 years. And I remember we'd have some grumpy people come in, man. You know, sometimes your coworkers, you're like these people, come on, take a chill pill. You need to, can you be just nice? Could you just be a decent human being? Let me know if you know somebody like that. Don't type their name in the chat, or maybe you should. Right? You think about this town square. So when I think about YouTube, I think just being a good person matters. Caring about connections, caring about people, engaging in the comments, you know, you're building a reputation online, right? And eventually as you grow bigger, it's not that you can necessarily connect with everybody, but I think that the brands that are going to last are the brands that focus on building meaningful connections and community. And Benji's wife, Judy, is one of the best examples of this. I mean, she's one of the top mom influencers on YouTube. She's had a beauty channel, still does, but, you know, is focusing on vlogging. She's had her own palettes. She's launched different products. She's done brand deals with, you know, major companies. I think companies like, I think I listed some here. You know, Walt Disney and Dove and Target. Over 1 billion video views, right? Top mom influencer. But what people see is they're seeing her at the top of the mountain. They didn't see her journey. They didn't necessarily see her process. And one of the reasons why I love Judy so much is because I dug up this video from 2008. It's over 10 years old. She shot it on a point-and-shoot camera on top of some shoe boxes. And it was a 400 subscriber thank you video, right? And in the video, she's like, I just reached 400,000 subscribers. She breaks down and starts crying because she's so grateful that people would care, that they would watch her videos. And you can feel her spirit. And this is what I'm trying to say is her gratitude. She didn't feel entitled to viewerships. Look, we don't feel entitled. I'm so freaking grateful you're here. Like, you could be a lot of places tonight or this morning, wherever you're watching around the world. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy that you'd invest your time to even just hang out with me, hang out with the video influencers community. I think you got to stay grateful. You got to have 10-10 appreciation for your community. And one of the strategies I love from Judy is she had a 50-50 strategy of 50% of her time was spent creating her content early on, and then 50% of her time was spent engaging in the community, not just responding to comments, but starting conversations. And a lot of times, because she had a full-time job, she'd respond from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning, 2 or 3 in the morning. And she built from the ground up these meaningful connections with her community one by one. Forget the blanket, like just lobbing out communication. In 2019, you need to really focus on one-to-one communication, because that's how YouTube channels truly grow. They grow one subscriber at a time. And so I really believe that the entrepreneurs who invest in creating meaningful connections and community are going to win. Period. Those who truly care from an authentic place, not as a tactic, but as something that really, really matters. And here's three areas about building community. First is listen. Listen. One of the reasons why it's great to have a question of the day, one of the reasons why we ask you so many questions, maybe about what video ideas you want to see. And by the way, we're going to do some Q&A in just a second. If you have a question that's on topic for how to get 1,000 subscribers, throw 4 question marks in front of your question, type it out, and then 4 after, so Gabby and Jordan on the Video Influencers team can see it. And we're going to get that in a doc, and I'll be able to answer some of your questions. But the point of listening, besides that connection, is also as you begin to grow on YouTube, you're going to be able to sustain your journey and come up with new video ideas because your community will give you unlimited video ideas. They'll share where they're getting stuck, what they're challenged with, what they want to see next, or what challenge they want to see next, or, you know, what video idea they'd want you to see, even if you have an entertainment channel. You got to listen more to get those ideas and stay in touch with your community. Of course, reply. And so make it a goal to reply to as many comments as you can, but also to reply across social media, to as many tweets, to as much LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. Again, if you're serious about being an influencer, yet there's comments going unanswered on your channels, and you're in like the first year of your journey, then you're not that serious. Because influencers who really care about growing their influence are going to create meaningful connections in the community. And you can say, Sean, I'm super busy. So am I. Welcome to the club, man. Who's not busy? You know what I mean? Like, usually that's just an excuse. You might be like, oh, but you don't know. Your situation's different than mine. Of course it is. But there's always people who find the time to hustle. And I know this. We always make time for things that matter to us. And to be honest, where I am in my career, I could probably settle a little bit at this point. But you'll still find me, and my wife doesn't always like it, sitting in bed. She's like, put your phone away. And I'm like, I'm answering YouTube comments. But she understands because I care. I do my best to get to as many as I can. Reply and truly care about your audience. And then also surprise and wow. Try to surprise and wow. What does that mean? It means like go the extra mile. Just look for ways to go deeper with your community. For us, I like doing it by taking the conversation off YouTube. I try, and maybe some of you have seen me do this, I try to go to your channels, click through to see if you have a Twitter, then I try to go stalk you on Twitter. It sounds weird. And a lot of times, I want to follow you. Like, in fact, send me a tweet, and I'll follow you back. At Sean Cannell. But I like to then go over to Twitter and just say, hey, thank you so much for watching my YouTube videos. Why? It's just a little bit extra. It took the time to click through and find your account and then follow you and then send you a message. And I can't do that for everybody, but I do it as much as I can, and it's made some meaningful connections. The entrepreneurs who invest in creating meaningful connections and community win, period. Which brings us to the next C. Come on, you want to get to 1,000 subscribers and beyond in 2019, but also build your income. You gotta have cash, right? You gotta monetize. And a couple things about monetization. Tony Hsieh says this, founder of Zappos: chase the vision, not the money, and the money will end up following you. So when I think about cash first, if you're early in your journey, I think it's important to plan for it, even potentially monetize early on, like affiliate marketing, whatever. But don't focus on it too much. Chase the vision. I've learned this. You chase the vision, the money will follow. Chase the vision, serve people, add value, be patient, the money will follow. Build your influence. There's a reason why we say help you build your influence, income, and impact with online video, because they're linear. You have to have influence to even make income, because if you have 0 views, you're not making any money. You have to have influence. Then income can follow. Then if you have actual income, you can make an impact. And specifically through, again, if you have no influence and you're broke, then you can't even get the internet on, and you can't even have you know what I mean? Like, they're linear. It's a progression. So chase the vision first. Build your influence first. Make connections first. Really build a strong community first. And just don't focus on the money, but as you go and your channel grows, the money will end up following you. And so one target that you might have if you wanted to earn $2,000 from YouTube, this is just an example of how to do it on AdSense. And I know that you might want to turn monetization on in your channel, so you're trying to get to 4,000 hours of watch time, you're trying to get 1,000 subscribers. But if your goal is to earn 2,000 from YouTube, just here's how it breaks down with YouTube ads. The average CPM, the average amount of money people make for 1,000 views, is $2. That's here in the US. Now, internationally, it could be lower. It also could be much higher. Think Media is a lot higher. I've got friends that are a lot higher. Why? Because I believe it's correlated to your audience. It's connected to the quality of your content. It's connected to what advertisers want to advertise on certain types of content. But this is just kind of a benchmark. So it could be much lower. It could also be much higher. So if you want to earn $2,000 though, you need to get 1 million views to earn $2,000. So maybe that's part of your goal. How much money do you want to make on YouTube in 2019? You could be realistic. Maybe you're like, I want to earn $2,000. That's possible. It doesn't have to be your only income stream. And if that was also the case, if you're like, okay, I already am monetized, but I want to scale that YouTube monetization up, reverse engineer how many views you need. Then you can start putting a plan together to get there. And I really think this will add value. I asked a couple recently at a YouTube conference, and they're like, we want to do this full time. We want this to be our thing. And here's my first question, and they did not know the answer. And let me know, be honest, if you know the answer to this or not. I said, they go, I want to go full time. And I said, okay, well, first of all, how much would that be? How much money would you even need to make YouTube full time? And they go, well, we're not sure. And I was like, well, if you don't know where you're going, how would you know when you got there? And there's something about maybe defining to say, not how much do you want to earn, how much do you need? And maybe right now you've got a job, you've got a salary, maybe you hate your job, but it pays you pretty well. And let's just say you need to earn $4,000 a month to pay your bills. Maybe your job earns you a lot more than that, but you could live off of $4,000. Well, then work backwards from the financial target you need to make monthly, and then deploy the actions related to that. So I was like, so then they were like, well, okay, and I said, not how much money you want to make, how much money, the lowest number you could survive on, but that would allow you freedom to leave your 9 to 5 and focus on this full time. Then you can make a growth plan. And I think this is helping somebody because in 2019, you want to have clarity about where you want to end up. What are your view goals, subscriber goals? What are those targets? Then you reverse engineer a plan to reach those targets on your journey. But the fact is, YouTube ads is our least favorite way to make money. And so if you have YouTube secrets, you could study the cash chapter. There's a lot more information there. And then I also mentioned 75% off of our YouTube secrets quick start course. I'll mention a few details about that in a second. And if you have any questions, let me know. All right, the final C is consistency. Consistency. Look, Rome wasn't built in a day. And I know people say it all the time. Oh, I've heard this before. Yeah, it might be common sense, but to be honest, it's not really common practice. And consistency does not just mean frequency of uploads. Most people, that's all they talk about. Hey, you got to stay consistent. You got to get a video out a week. It's not just frequency of uploads. It's also consistency in your messaging. If you upload one thing about how to paint a better painting, and then next week you review the latest universe Spider-Man movie, and then the next week you upload a Red Dead Redemption gameplay tutorial, and then the next week you upload a video about how to make a good omelet, you are all over the place. And that's not consistency in your messaging, in your niche, in your topic. You want to have consistency in how often you upload, consistency in your messaging, consistency in your brand, consistency in what you're saying. Some of you're like, Sean, you sound like a broken record about this YouTube stuff. That's the key. Like, if you know I sound like a broken record, that's because you've been around for a while. But a lot of people, we think you need to be saying a clearer message. You need to define your message and then repeat it over and over again for the next 5 years. Obviously, adding new nuances, new value to it, new expressions of it, new details of it. But a lot of things that mess people up is they keep going in different directions. The message keeps changing. The niche keeps changing. The frequency of uploads is all over the place. Rome wasn't built in a day, but you got to lay a brick at a time, and you got to stay consistent in what you're building. Crystal Sparks from our community, she's got a faith-based kind of motivational and inspirational channel. And she's one of the best examples of staying consistent, but by creating a smart system of doing it. So she is a wife, a mother, a pastor, a speaker. She is an author. She creates digital courses. She's busy. Kids running crazy. Got a lot going on. So how in the world can she sustain a weekly show on YouTube? She doesn't miss a week. 52 videos a week, last 3 years, I think. How can she sustain that? And by the way, she also turns those into a podcast. So she has a weekly YouTube show and a weekly podcast. How does she do it? Batch production. Batch production. She shoots 4 videos at a week. She's got a system set of 4 videos at a time. She releases 1 video a week. She puts those 4 videos. They also are kind of reworked and strategized at the time of recording to go onto her podcast. And she's able to have built this influential community. By the way, she doesn't have 1 million subscribers. She doesn't have 100,000. It's not a very large community, but what's amazing is she's created an incredible community, and she's generated thousands and thousands of dollars of side income for her family, all from slow and steady wins, all from batching and creating smart systems. That's your goal. You want to create smart systems that help you stay consistent over the long haul. So here's how to create a year of content in 12 days. Number 1, you want to plan 4 videos in Google Docs at a time. I like Google Docs because it's free online on the app, and then I put my phone on my leg and I just go the notes right off my app, and I just shoot the first video, the second video, just scroll through. 1 Google Doc, 1 little cluster of videos. Plan out all 4 videos. I plan out the title. I plan out the opening hook, and then I might put like the 4 points. In this, there's 7 points. You know, there's like the 7 points in the video, and then the question of the day, and I have it all in Google Docs, and then I would shoot, right, all 4 of those videos at once. So what you do is you schedule a time to record. What gets scheduled gets done. You want to be more effective in 2019 on YouTube and bust through that 1,000 subscriber lid. You gotta schedule and be structured in how you're producing your content. Keep it sane and to keep quality high, so that you're not just reacting last minute to try to get an upload up, but you're seeing further down the road with greater foresight and clarity about what you're building. So then you schedule that shoot day and record it, and then you can also edit in a batch. Now, never compare your beginning to somebody else's middle. These days, I've got help producing videos, but this is the exact... Even Crystal now has help. Because she's generating money, she hires a videographer. So it makes it more sustainable for her to keep her YouTube channel going. But please, never let it be an excuse. Well, Sean, I had someone tweet me the other day. Sean, how is it possible to be a YouTuber when I've got a job? I was like, you and everybody else, bro. Like, we all had to go through that season, man. Like, you gotta hustle. Like, you have to put in some serious extra work and hustle. Like, it's gonna take time. And so early on, I would do this all. I would plan on my Google Doc, shoot all my videos, and then I would try to edit them in a batch, because maybe on one weekend, because I lay them all out in the Premiere Pro timeline, the video editing software I use, same intro, kind of same text, boom, 1 video, boom, 2nd video, boom, 3rd video. I could do it all in a Saturday. Shoot all my videos maybe in 1 Saturday morning, edit all of 4 videos at once the next Saturday all day. But now I got a month's worth of content, friends, and that's how you can create a year of content in 12 days. To be fair, you got to edit 24 days, you know, maybe 1 shoot day, and it doesn't have to be a day. By the way, come on, you can shoot 4 videos, give them an hour each, 4 hours. Right, and then edit whenever you want to, but you got to build this system around you, and then the goal is to release 1 video per week. And remember, I would much rather you upload 1 video a week for the next 7 years than 365 videos this next year. Working on each one to make it better, impactful, and valuable for your community. Okay, and remember, YouTube is a marathon and not a sprint, right? It's a marathon and not a sprint. And so those are the 7 C's of YouTube success. And you want to keep working these: courage, clarity, channel, content, community, cash, consistency. No matter what level you're at, you might be at 100,000 subs, man. You might be at 500,000. You still got to focus on these. New levels of courage, new levels of boldness, clearer vision about your messaging, what content you're going to produce, updating your channel, focusing on your community, developing income streams and generating cash, doing brand deals, hustling, doing, affiliate marketing. And then creating more and more smart systems around your life, your business, your content to go further, faster. And your goal is to simply level up each area. Because if you make each C a little bit better, week after week, day after day, month after month, then you will progress and you'll keep getting subscribers. But I did mention really quick, and then we'll do some Q&A, about a super limited special we're doing on our YouTube Secrets Quick Start course. It is a mini course that is designed to help you get results faster, and I just want to put this on your radar really quick, and then we'll do some Q&A. So saying everything we taught, there's 3 areas that we see people still get stuck a lot. And so that's why we designed a separate course that is a complement to the book. And those 3 areas are, how do you actually come up with video ideas that get views? Not just video ideas that are just reached out of heaven and like, I think that I should shoot this, but how do you research, find, and identify the growth videos in your niche as well as the profitable videos in your niche? That's a huge challenge. How do you also then structure your videos to keep people's attention? You want that audience retention high. That's going to trigger the algorithm. How do you structure your content so that it can be more effective and more valuable to build that loyal audience and keep people watching? And then how do you actually make money? We touched on one thing. What are some of the strategies for making more money on YouTube in 2019? So if you love this training, then you will love the YouTube Secrets Quick Start video course. It's the shortcut to creating videos that get massive views and make money. And in video 1, we talk about how to come up with video ideas. These are in-depth trainings with Benji and I with some of our favorite tools, some of our favorite apps, so how we do research. Then we talk about how to create powerful YouTube videos, and then our YouTube money-making tips, plus I just recorded this, a brand new 1-hour growth accelerator where I go into my strategies for 2019 and exactly what I'm focusing on over on Think Media. Benji's doing the same stuff on Benji Man TV as well as our other channels. So you get all of that training inside of this YouTube Secrets Quick Start course. And it's an online course, right? You have your own membership area. There's the 4 training videos, and there's also downloadable PDF action guides that go along with the videos that will help you literally walk through, right? Ask you questions, design your game plan. If you, by the way, like if this training, you're like, I got what I need, I'm ready to go rock, then go rock. If you want more help putting together a 2019 game plan, then you're gonna love the action guides and worksheets that come with this. And so what's the investment? Well, it's a $97 course, $100, right? It's a $100 course, but the limited special, because it's the holidays right now, it's only going on for a few days. We wanna do over 70% off. And so you could grab the whole Quick Start course for $27, limited time special, and it's available at tubequickstart.com, or you can just click the link in the description and it'll take you over to that page. So if you want to jumpstart your YouTube success and learn the step-by-step system for getting views and subscribers and making money in 2019, busting through that first 1,000 subscribers and then beyond, then this course is for you. And we wanted to do a talk with Benji, like we wanted to give you a sick discount, but it's available for a very limited time. TubeQuickStart.com if you're interested. And by the way, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. As with anything we ever would promote or let you know about, we believe in it with all of our hearts. Like, we are running our businesses with integrity. Benji lives in Seattle and here in Las Vegas. We're real people with real teams, with real customer support. And so, like, check it out. Super cool deal. The price, you can get it later, but the price will go up. And so over 70% off. We just wanted to add as much value. If you want some advanced training to get results with YouTube, and it's completely risk-free to join that course. So that's at tubequickstart.com. Link in the description below. If you got value out of this training, can you smash the like button? We're gonna do some questions and maybe share this out too with somebody that needs to see this. Blaze Redendez says, any help with starting merch planning for the future? We're going to, hang on. Okay, a couple. Any help with starting merch? I think I would start with Teespring, just because Teespring integrates into YouTube. I think you can always evolve later. But let me encourage you with something that I heard recently. Before you ever do the big dream, do a mini dream. And what I mean is, before you start your own clothing line naturally, just get one t-shirt up. Before you launch a merch line, just sell one cell phone case or one coffee cup. And Teespring is what actually integrates with YouTube. I think you need a certain number of subscribers to actually get that integration. But that's a place to start. And then just research merch sites, and that could help you. The Game Overture, what took you the longest to get the hang of when it comes to scripting, shooting, and editing videos? I think probably editing. I think video editing is an interesting learning curve. So here's what I would encourage you with video editing too, is keep it simple at the beginning. You know, if you watch your favorite YouTuber and you're just like it's overwhelming to see the level they're editing at, you don't try to do that right away. You maybe start your videos with a simple intro, a little logo that pops up, content in the middle, and then an outro. And not to, basically you want to crawl before you walk, before you run. And I'd even say this, when we started Video Influencers, we were in such a different season of how busy we were. I was living in California, different challenges. And so we started Video Influencers videos simpler than they are today. We're always trying to level up our content, adding more titles, more editing, color grading, higher level of production value. This has been a 4-year journey, friends, though. So start simple and don't, because I see people, two mistakes. They overshoot, they shoot too much footage. So then they get paralyzed when it comes to editing. Let me know if you can relate in the live chat or in the comments. Keep it simple when you're starting out, and then level up your quality and your production value over time. We've also had a couple of super chats. Thank you so much, YouTube watcher with Pickle. I'm a game, abandoned explorer, and trucker. What do I do to make it better? And the notices don't get sent out half the time. Okay, so you can't control whether YouTube is going to send out notifications, but I would tell you this, that's why in 2019 you want to diversify your influence. Don't put all your eggs in one basket with YouTube. And that's why you want to build an email list. That's why you do want influence on other social media platforms. In fact, let me know, influencers community, what platforms you're focusing on in 2018, 19. For me and even Benji, there's a couple. We're focusing on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn video is one of the hottest, most favorable algorithms online right now. And so here's my LinkedIn page. And, I can upload native video here. This is a native upload. And this got, 146 views. Maybe you didn't even know that you could upload videos on LinkedIn. Let's see what else. This was one I just recorded, and it got 2,376 views just over on LinkedIn. And that's by being native to the platform, getting more followers, getting more connections. And it's a conversation for a whole nother day, but it's one of the big platforms we're focusing on in addition to YouTube. But look, even this very training here, 63 people saw this promoting out away from LinkedIn. And other platforms, man, Facebook doesn't ever want you to link away from Facebook. Most platforms don't want you to send traffic away from their platform, including LinkedIn, but it's such a favorable algorithm right now. That's a power tip, especially for those that, if your audience is at all professional, business-minded, and your content would fit on a professional network like LinkedIn. Some of you might be like, what are you even talking about? There's 550 million people on LinkedIn. They've only allowed native video to be uploaded for the past a little over a year. And so there's massive opportunity. Here's one that Benji did over on his channel, right? Where it's like a little snippet of content from a Video Influencers video. And it's got 507 views. Again, if notifications are not going out on YouTube, where else can you send traffic from? Are you building an email list? Are you building up a Twitter account? And are you not just using it to just promote stuff, but are you actually being active on your Twitter account? And here's what I mean, right? Every once in a while, of course, it's like, hey, I'm live, go watch it, here's the latest video. But then there's stuff like actual just content. These are all promotional posts. I mean, they're valuable videos and whatnot, but here's some content, these are some, if you will, quotes, some conversations, connection. What's been a highlight of your 2018, right? So it's actually not just the mistake people make on social media is it's just an endless stream of promotions of something on a different platform. You want to be adding valuable native content directly on the platform, conversations, inspiration, education, motivation, and then you might say, and hey, a new video is out just like this, go watch it and follow me. So I think YouTube watcher with Pickle, I think that both of those I would do. Number one, this is what I would do to make it better. I mean, improve your content, keep working on your content. But with the notifications tip, if notifications doesn't work, keep your personal power. Build your influence elsewhere and use that to drive traffic to your channel. Thank you, AJ, for the super chat, and thank you, Catrice. Thank you, Weird Stream ENT. And so Marie's DIY asks, getting subs and views are done. What am I doing wrong? And is it best to upload 1 to 2 a week or daily? Okay, first of all, you're right. people are like, why are views and subscribers or down across the whole channel? They are pretty much down across the whole platform for most channels. But like, who cares? I mean, I know it matters. But my point is like, algorithms are gonna come and go. Okay? Your views might be up one day, they might be down the next. And I understand that's like an emotional roller coaster. But like, what are you gonna do about it? All you can do is you can't focus on what you can't control. Focus on what you can control, putting out quality videos. So even sometimes too, haters, trolls, like, oh, Sean, your Think Media views are down. Dude, everyone's views are down. Like, I'm focusing on the fact that there's still thousands and thousands of, 1.5 million people watching a month, you know? Like, maybe it's not 1.8 like it once was because the algorithm tweaked a little. Like, whatever. Like, keep going and keep innovating. Keep looking for new ideas. And I try to never blame it on the platform. If my views go down, I take 100% responsibility and I just say, how do I make better content? How do I figure out, how do I pay attention to trends? How do I evolve? How do I improve? And, but here's just the punchline to let you off the hook a little bit. It's the nature of the content of the platforms getting more crowded. Instagram went through a golden era where people were just crushing how many likes, how many views they were. And a lot of people's views and likes on Instagram got cut by 90%. Like, almost got cut 10 times lower. So it's not like it once was. It's no longer the golden era. But if you're so preoccupied and just complaining and wondering about wishing it once was a certain way, meanwhile, just get to work and realize, hey, if I went, at one point I got 10,000 views, now I get 1,000, focus on the freaking 1,000. You know, it's like still like amazing. It's frustrating. I'm not trying to lack empathy, but you got to focus on the good and keep looking for ways to break through. I think we can take one or two more questions, but again, just wanted to let you know here about one, can you smash like if you got value out of this training? Spread the word. By the way, add me on LinkedIn. I think, and let me know what platforms you're focusing on in 2019 as far as social media in addition to YouTube. And if you do want to check out the YouTube Quick Start course, link in the description below. 70% off for a limited time, or just go to tubequickstart.com and you can see all the details on that page as well as exactly what are in those videos as well. Couple more questions here we'll take really quick. When can you stop considering yourself a small YouTuber? Jazzy asks. Well, a couple things. Number one, I mean, you don't want to be delusional, but don't consider yourself a small YouTuber. Don't let your small town make you small-minded. Don't let your small business make you small-minded. Don't let your small YouTube channel make you small-minded. And I'm not saying that you are, but I'm just saying, think bigger. You're a business. You're a brand, right? And the other thing is, don't compare yourself, because size is relative to the niche. I heard somebody say the other day about the YouTube tips channels, you know, YouTube Secrets, Daryl Eves, Tim Schmoyer, you know, a lot of my friends, Nick Nimmin. They were like, you know, well, why don't you guys have 1 million subscribers? Did you notice that none of them have 1 million subscribers? None of the YouTube tips channels have 1 million subscribers. Why? It speaks to the size of the market. Are there tech channels with 1 million subscribers? Yeah, there's tech channels with 10 million, right? Well, there's more people who want to see tech. Not everybody wants to be a YouTube creator. Well, you've got an underwater basket weaving, YouTube channel, and you're frustrated that you don't have 100,000 subscribers. Look, if you have 1,000 subscribers in underwater basket weaving, you're massive. You're not a small channel. You're probably one of the biggest influencers in the space. Heather Torres on my team has a homeschool channel. Her homeschool channel is 12,000 subscribers. I don't want to say she'll never reach 1 million, but there's not as many people looking for homeschool information as are looking for meme reviews. Right? There's not as many people that are maybe looking for gaming content and Fortnite, you know, and I understand there's high levels of competition in different niches, but like, who cares, man? Don't worry about being a small YouTuber. Worry about serving your niche, worry about adding massive value in your market, and worry about rising to the top of your market. So here's some practical tips. What market are you in? You need to know that, number one. Like, Heather knows she's in homeschool, you know? Like, I know that on Think Media, I do strategy videos like this, but I cover a lot of tech and cameras and lighting. So know that relative to your industry, why maybe how big your market is. Number one. Number two, here's some homework. Identify the competitors in your industry. Don't compare your YouTube channel to somebody in a different niche. Like, who are the biggest channels and the most influential channels in your topic and niche? And then number three, identify what you can learn from them, not what you could copy from them, but what you could incorporate, because if they're the biggest, they're doing some things that are working, and make a plan for how you could rise to the top of your industry. I believe that you should set out to intentionally be in the top 10% of the people in your industry, whether that's personal development or, you know, teaching about some kind of faith or whatever it is. Like, you could say, what would it take to be in the top 10%? What kind of value, what kind of production value, and then make a plan and understand that the world is an abundant place. The top 10% of any industry are going to get like the most accolades, the most awareness, the most everything. It's just the way things go. And then even if you're in the next like long tail though, there's so much value to be had. So obviously, like in some channels on YouTube, there's Ryan's Toys Reviews, who just got #1 in the Forbes top list of the most profitable channels with like $20 million a month. But you know what I know is that in kids and toy reviews and all that kind of stuff, if he's making 20 million, it was total arbitrary number, but they kind of based it on some stuff. There's a long tail of channels, a lot of channels that are making 7 figures. Even more channels that are making 6 figures a year, and thousands, and I'd say over 100,000 kids channels